What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Onney, the CEO, and I'm back another week, another fire segment. And tonight we are all about high vibes, hot fashion, and good eating. So I want you guys to buckle up your seatbelts because you're now plugged in, tuned in, tapped in to Outside the Box. Now, the cannabis industry sometimes have a negative stereotype, but the young man that I have on the show tonight can just change your mind in multiple ways. He is innovative, he is creative, and he is doing his own thing, and I'm gonna let him tell you all about it. So for our viewers and our watchers, I want you guys to welcome Nick to the show. What's going on?
Not too much. Appreciate you having me.
I appreciate you for pulling up on me with all the good. You gonna leave me some of that, right?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I'm putting my bid in early.
Yeah.
So I know who you are, and I know what you do. But for those that are listening, and for those that are watching, hey y'all, I want you to tell us what you do and give us some little insight on who you are.
Okay. Well, my name is Nicholas. I'm the owner and creator of Black Print Edibles. I just got into edibles one day. I had a friend whose mom was like sick. I'm a smoker. I smoke. This is what it is. Mm-hmm. I just left Colorado. I'm a Californian that left Colorado after retiring from sports, came out here, and my habits didn't change right away. And I ran into some, people who have mutual habits. And one individual who had an aunt who was on medicine and stuff like that, and she was like, I don't really want her on that anymore. It does this and that. So I make some oil for you. She was like, what? And I made some capsules. And from there, it just kind of like went on. And then one day I was complaining, like, I don't got enough money. Mm-hmm. So I was like, make edibles. So I just went to that and it's taken off. I've been doing it since 2017.
Oh, okay.
So all I've been doing is just advancing my levels or whatnot. But basically, I just am there. I'm wanting to have an alternative. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people that want to indulge in cannabis but can't do it. Because of, they're allergic to smoke, or they don't like smelling like smoke. They don't want it in their hair. They don't know how to do this or do that. Mm-hmm. And it's an alternative. It's more medicinal than recreational.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it still sends you to the same place.
Correct.
This may be a little faster than the traditional, roll up and burn. But so I just been doing this. I've been in a lot of trial and errors trying to figure out what is the perfect thing. So what I've kind of geared everything down to is I have my feature item, which is a brookie. Mm-hmm. It's a brownie cookie. It's 450 to like 500 milligrams of THC jam-packed into brownie cookie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I bet everybody's just floating in the room after they have one.
Yeah,
Yes.
it comes with a disclaimer. I be telling people, you got to cut it in 4 pieces. I don't care. I've been smoking for... That has nothing to do with what I'm talking about.
You're going to be over there slurring if you don't watch it.
Absolutely. The whole night is ruined if you sit here and think you're finna do that. And so it's just one of those things that I kind of just now am trying to master. So mm-hmm. There's the brookie I do. Everybody loves a cereal treat, so I kind of stayed with that. But I try to do a couple of different things. I'm in Texas, Louisiana, and the praline or pecan candy, depending on where you're from and who you know. Mm-hmm. I started getting into those little more exotic things. I did a honey, local honey.
Okay.
Just because that, there's so many more options with it.
Yes.
The same thing with my base. I use a coconut oil. So it does so much more than just a butter. Butter, you run into a wall.
Right.
Where with coconut oil, I can go sweet or I can go savory.
Not only that, it's kind of healthier for the vegan-based people that don't want to use a butter.
Absolutely. It's 2 super vegetable, fruits, plants, 2 super things from out the ground I just combined into one.
Oh, man, I'm ready to go shopping already. Y'all don't judge me. Judge your mama. Don't judge me. No, I'm just playing. Because it does. It has a lot of medicinal properties. People that are dealing with rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, cancer. There's so many different ailments that THC can help, and CBD as well. Now, I know that you said you had an aha moment when a friend of yours' mom You made some capsules for her, and you was like, okay, well, I need more money. But I said, where were you when you decided that you were going to step outside the box and make it a business and a brand?
So funny. So I was a server and I didn't want to do that anymore. Just constantly telling people, oh, absolutely. And you know they're wrong and you have to keep doing that. I wasn't sitting right. And so stopped doing that. Then I started working for my parents' company. Well, that was cool. There's a lot of benefits, but you deal with all of the politics with that. And then I just felt like if my father can open a company and do what he enjoys doing, I can do the same thing. And so I just was like, one day I got paid there and had a really good week from baking and just different things like that. And I was like, I make the same amount of money in less than 2 weeks. And then, you know, life happened. I got fired from my parents' job.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it happens. But
It's
then,
business.
yeah, from there, I had no choice but to go 100%. And so that's kind of just where I went from that. And that's pretty much what kind of got me into that. And then just the baking. And then when you get into that, it's like, oh, I want to make everything. I was making cookies, I was making cheesecakes, I was making so much stuff. And I was taking, oh, what do you want me to make for you? I'm going to make it. And you get caught up doing all of this stuff, you get overwhelmed. I used to do cookies all the time. I used to do an oatmeal, cranberry, pecan, white chocolate chip cookie. I liked it, and 2 other people liked it. So I would have a whole bunch of stuff that's left over. So, you know, after trial and error, just kind of figuring things out.
And then you have to, I think that the niche is once you find your audience or you find out what sells the most, and you can kind of narrow down to what you want to put your time into.
Yeah.
And it's like, I so can relate to you because I have the sea moss and juice company.
Absolutely.
And whenever you're making perishable products, then you only have a certain amount of time to sell them.
Yeah.
So it costs us money to create the inventory to even sell. So if they don't buy it, we could be at a severe deficit. So it's really important when you're selling a product to understand what that niche is or what people gravitate to the most. So that's what you want to have on hand.
Yep.
So you say your Brookie is one of your top selling. I saw that strawberry.
The strawberry shortcake.
Oh man, what? I'm
Yeah.
like, and you have cheesecake too, is that?
So I do a cheesecake, but the cheesecakes are all like, you got to pay for that ahead of time.
Yeah.
Just because it's hot.
You should have to pay for all of it ahead of time.
Well, true. But for custom things,
Yeah.
you're definitely going to pay ahead of time. If you're like, hey,
Yeah.
can you make this? I absolutely can. However, it's all hypothetical until a deposit has been made.
Yes.
So that's just kind of how I run with that. Or I tell them you got to put a quarter in the machine for it to work.
Well, personally, with Swan Owl, because it's sea moss and it's $50 a pound,
Yeah.
and if you get it wholesale, the cheapest you can get is $35 a pound. It's not cheap. And then, so if I do a pop-up and I have inventory, then you can get it on demand.
Yeah.
Other than that, you have to pay for your order. Then it's processed fresh. So
Yeah.
when you get it, it wasn't something that was sitting in the refrigerator for a
Yeah.
week. It's fresh.
Yeah.
So I get it. Ooh,
Yeah.
everything looks so good. So, okay. So before we move any further, I'm going to give everybody a chance to see some of your products, but I actually want to take a quick commercial break. For those that are watching, they can get a closer look. Let's check it out.
From classic favorites to creative masterpieces, we bake happiness into every bite. Crafted with precision, our edibles are more than just treats. They're an experience, a journey into a realm of gourmet delights. Our culinary experts infuse each creation with the finest cannabis, taking gourmet to a higher level. Whether you're indulging in our edibles or rocking our apparel, Black Print Edibles embodies a lifestyle that's uniquely yours.
Come on now. A black man that can cook. Shout out, and he can put a little THC in it for you.
Yeah.
So tell me about it. So we were saying a little bit of something behind the scenes, and I didn't want to cut you off because we always get the best content behind the scenes. So you came out with Black Print Edibles.
Yeah.
Now you also have beverages as well.
Yes, I absolutely do. The beverage thing I got into just because I constantly would have people, well, I don't really eat sweets, but I know people would drink a juice.
Especially if it's hot.
Yeah, that's the main thing. And Houston has 2 seasons, hot and scorching. So that's pretty much it, with a sprinkle of sprinkle a little bit of cold. every once in a
Maybe,
while.
if
Yeah.
you're lucky.
Yes,
Yeah.
in the right area. But the juices I got into, I kind of just got into mixing flavors and would sit and be like, oh, well, I like this. Oh, I like this. And then, hey, bippity boppity boop, now it's infused. That was pretty much it. And so now I just, the juices are one of the things that I like to have, again, because of it being hot. It's something that will last longer. You can do all kinds of different things with it. Freeze it and make it slushy. For those that like to live on the edge, wild on the edge, if you can go ahead and mix it in your favorite adult beverage if you wanted to. I'm not that wild, but there's people that enjoy it in that way. But I do everything. When the winter comes, I actually have a hot chocolate that we'll be doing.
Okay.
I've done an iced coffee, and then it's just a variety of flavors. Kool-Aids and freshly squeezed lemonades, and I'm getting into more of the fresh juices, but I think that when I get into that, it'll be on the spot thing. You'll have to catch me at a pop-up, or you'll have to come buy your own jug, just because fermentation and all that kind of stuff with fresh fruits and stuff.
All of that.
Yeah.
That's why I say if you're making something that's perishable, time really is of the essence. So it's very, you have to know who your clients are, build that clientele, and you can it's like mailbox money after that. Cause it's like, man, we out of those brookies. We out of those Rice Krispie treats.
And that was one of my when I first started, like I'm like, who am I going to sell to? Well, I sat for a little bit after enjoying a nice little rolled treat, and I was like, I like women. Women like food. That's my target market. And that's pretty much where it is. Dudes always talk about how, I don't know, I smoked this and I've been smoking that, and this don't really do that to me. And I have to inform people that I'm a giant killer. The reason for that is because if I make a product and it doesn't do exactly what I'm telling you, I have failed. And word of mouth travels farther than, faster than a lot of things. And so then I'm back to trying to go lift boxes at FedEx, and I'm not about that life. So I just, getting on this and just trying to, I'm wanting to overhaul a lot of things just to kind of get into stores. That's my next venture. But
now I'm gonna ask you a few questions. I'm more of a sativa type of girl, indica, and I bumped into someone, and they were telling me about Keef, and I didn't know what Keef was, and I felt like I was so out of the loop. So many people get all the terminology mixed up. They don't know the difference between CBD and THC. So can you tell me and the listeners what's the difference between CBD and THC?
So really, just to kind of explain it to, it's easier if you can explain it to a 5-year-old. You got Old Duels and you got Budweiser. They both taste like beer. One got a side effect and the other one just kind of has you feeling good. However, CBD does have medicinal aspects of it. You don't have all the euphoric. Basically, it's what THC will give you. You won't have all the euphoric stuff. Your sativas, they're going to be your uppers. That's going to be, kind of have you just on edge. Strong sativa and too much of it may have you
an anxiety attack.
Yeah, that part. And then you have your indicas, or for those who don't get it, in the couch. Like indica, in the couch, because if you get the right one or you have too much of it, you're sleeping. Yeah.
And so the hybrids are a little mix of both.
So really, I was just having a conversation with a buddy of mine who has flower and stuff like that. He was pretty much telling me that everything is pretty much a hybrid now because of the way that cannabis has went. I'm 40. There's strands that don't even exist no more from when I was smoking in my late 20s and stuff like that. So everything's a hybrid. It's just now, is it sativa dominant or indica dominant?
Okay.
And so that's what a lot of your flowers will be. So.
Okay. Now, so what in all those categories? Like I see you have the honey there. So what's in the honey?
Oh, so I have a serum that I make from extraction and doing my extraction, and then I pretty much just get local honey here from some different vendors. It's pretty much been the same one for the most part. If they're not available, I have a backup. But then I just add my serum into that, and then I've done some calculations to be able to tell you, how much to take. That little jar right there has 1,000 milligrams in it. So when you take that, you only need a teaspoon. I tell people a teaspoon is really all that
So
you
what
need.
you mix it in, like your teas or
So
your foods?
it's a bunch of different things. You could put it into into your teas, early morning, wake and bake type thing, or late night, relax. Anything with tea, that's going to work perfect. I've had it put into where you'll make a honey sriracha sauce I've made. We've done a honey barbecue. We've done honey Hennessy wings, just to kind of just try stuff out.
Yeah.
But it's just adding that. And then when I tell people, so if you buy this from me and you want to try to make a sauce or something like that, take that one and put it in a regular honey, heat them both up and then mix them. And then you'll have enough to be able to stretch out what you got going. Otherwise, you're going to try to make some food and everybody's going to be asleep before they enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then it's going to wait for you the next day to remind you of not to do it again.
Yeah. Man, so you have a whole array of things. Now, you've done pop-ups everywhere. I actually have a couple of images of some of the pop-ups that you've done, in different cities and different places where, hey, you never know where you're going to pop up and pop out next, right?
Right.
So if people want to get in contact with you to do a pop-up, they can just hit you through the ground, right?
Yeah, they absolutely. We do, private parties. We've done bachelorette parties. There's a pool party pop-up tomorrow. So y'all tap into my Instagram and see about the details. But yeah, hit me up on Instagram. All my information is there. I just tell people when they do request stuff, just to make sure you come correct, because I don't know who's what with what sometimes.
Yeah.
And if you talk to me like, I don't know, then I might not get to what you need and you might get overlooked. So yeah, but we do that, parties, catering. We do pop-ups locally. I'm getting ready to do some pop-ups over on the East Coast.
Okay.
And then I've got a few buddies in the central Colorado area that want to try to do some of the things that we're doing here, which you would be surprised. A lot of completely legal states don't even do the pop-up scene like we have. California, I think, is the only one. I think in New York they do it.
Yeah, because I know there's a lot of underground pop-up scenes, private events that you don't really know about them until after they've already happened, because they're like invite only type situations.
We gotta, if you know, you know. And so once you get tapped in, you're pretty much
in the community.
In the community, and you kind of know, what's going on and who's what and stuff like that.
So we're gonna transition. We're gonna come back and take a look. No, I wanna take a look at some of these treats. Can I have one of those?
Yeah. So
look at me talking. Don't talk about me.
So really, this whole thing up here is for you. Please proceed with caution.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you all of the brookies you want to cut into 4 pieces.
Okay.
And enjoy it and walk away from it.
Okay.
The lady that was supposed to do my hair today was telling me a story about, that's funny how I put that in there, huh? So this lady was telling me today about how she took a bite. And she was like, oh, this ain't even working. And then tried to go do something else and took a bigger bite. And then was like sitting there and it all hit her at one point.
Okay.
Yeah, so just when you take that corner piece, take that and then and then I'm not gonna even do a whole, try all the different flavors. Pick one today, and then pick one tomorrow.
Okay.
And then you'll be able to kind of.
I have 100 bottles of juice to go home and make. I think I might have to wait until I finish because I might not get it done.
Yeah, you might knock the bottles over. I'm cool today. I'm going to sleep. But
this is so dope. No, I just really wanted to kind of like let you guys see, like, I mean, it's branded, it's packaged, it's fresh, it's sealed. Slide it of DMs and get you some, because I ain't sharing mine. I'm just putting it out there.
and the brookies are basically, I do a fudge brownie, and then I'll layer it. So I have layered flavored ones. So I have Reese's. So it'll be the brownie, and I'll layer the whole top of the Reese's, or whole top of the brownie with Reese's candy, the whole candy.
Oh, man.
And then I mix the cookie up. The batter up with the cookie, and I throw the candy in there as well too, and then the cookie got it. So I'll do each one of those like that. I have a Snickers, I have the Oreo, I have the Reese's, and then I have one called a Cookie Monster. That is the blue cookie with the Oreos in it. And then one of my fan favorites is the Red Velvet Brownie Brookie.
That sounds so
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
It's a red velvet brownie with a real cream cheese frosting, and then there's a sugar cookie on top of it with white chocolate chips.
Now tell me what all this is, because I see this is the Fruity Pebbles.
So these are going to be your brookies. So your brookies are going to have your the cookie on top, and let me see, I can open one of these up.
Yeah, that one is what, Oreo?
Yeah, this is the Oreo.
Oh,
and then
man.
I'm all about the layers. I like layers on stuff, just when you see it from the side and different things like that. And so, yeah, I just sit and bake.
And which one is this one?
This is the red velvet.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so this is the red velvet one with the cream cheese frosting on it. You can see the frosting on
Don't
there.
even ask me for it. I already know when I get where I'm going, folks will be like, I know you got the edibles. Give me some. No.
Yeah.
The answer is no. So we got some good product there. Now, before we run out of time, I do want to shed some light. Now, you not only have edibles, you actually went over into merch, and you have a clothing line, Big Pressure Essentials. Okay.
Big pressure essentials.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about Big Pressure Essentials.
It's like most stuff when you're in our industry. You have an idea and you're high, and then something clicks. And then with me, all my friends are in the same industry as me, or they're entrepreneurs. So I have friends that are artists, and I just said, hey, I have this idea, what do you think? And then he ran with it, and then that's how I came up with the logo for the lungs. I kind of really just want to do like Prince. It's just a logo with no name. Just because there's so many people with pressure, but they're pressure, I'm big pressure, and I'm essential. So I just, wanted to run with it like that. And that's just kind of like where we're at. There's so many hemp clothing brands that are out right now. Well, not even really, there's not a lot. Really, it's just Cookies. Cookies is on an island by itself. There's no like just that I've seen that people will actually want to wear. You're just paying $65 for a shirt that says Cookies on it. That's it.
Right.
I want some of that. Burner, I want some of that. So I'm trying to get on the island with Burner and be out there with Cookies. With Big Pressure Essentials, we got jogger suits, sweatshirts, shorts, trucker hats. I've got a plug where I got New Era fitteds getting done. I got swimming suits for the women. Just pretty much anything you could think of. But right now we're focusing on the shirts because that's what's hot. And then this winter we've got jogger suits coming out, and those are going to be real fly.
It's really dope that in a era where everybody's just social media, you're moving and hitting these goals, and you're literally just building your social media, but you still have a following, like an underground following. It's like, if you know, one of those type of things.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty damn dope.
Yeah. Social media is cool. I'm really I'm working on getting a website and getting my followers built that way, because Instagram is probably the biggest hater on the web.
It is.
I've had 5 different Instagrams. At one point,
they
I had
will take your page down.
Absolutely. I had like 7,000 followers, and this is before you had that person that was in your DM like, hey, I can get your page back. It was like, hey, c'est la vie, we're taking your page.
But a lot of times, the person that can get your page back is that person that actually took it in the first place.
Not these people, not these.
Yeah.
Not the one that I know. But yeah. Oh, but you're right.
Some of them,
it very well would be that.
That you'll pay them, and then they'll do it, and then what ends up happening after so long, they'll take it down again, and the first thing you'll think of is to go back to the person that was able to retrieve it, and you pay them again. It's all a scam.
Yeah. No, that's the thing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or hey, they pretend to be somebody else. Listen, I'm not on social media. My kid's not on social media. Nobody I know is on social media sliding in the DMs asking for a donation, okay?
I'm sure not doing it. Unless you owe me some money, I want it.
Yeah, run that back. So I thoroughly enjoyed just sitting down, talking to you, getting out in your business, getting a little more educated on, the infused foods and beverages, because everybody, when they think about cannabis, they just think about smoking. Yeah. But it's more to it, and you make it an art through your food, through your beverages, through your serums, you make it an art. So I commend you on stepping outside the box and believing in yourself and going all in. That is so dope. Yeah, so I just want to tell you, and I want to tell you in front of the world. And if we want to follow you to stay up to date, What are your pages? You have Black Print
So,
Edibles
yeah,
on
you
Instagram?
you can reach me at Black Print Edibles. I also have pressure.bpe. That's my clothing brand there. And then I also have a YouTube that I'm finna get ready to start. It's just Big Pressure Essentials. It'll pop
Okay.
right up. TikTok, I'm in there. I don't remember none of the stuff, but I know I got a couple of clips on there.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Black
Yeah.
_print
See,
_
yeah.
edibles. There you go,
I
right
know I
there.
simplified it for myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, you see any of the cartoon characters with the smirk on their face? That's me.
Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Well, I love it. I love you. I want to thank you for just coming. Let me get out on your business. I want to remind our viewers where to find us. You know, we are on multiple platforms. You can find us everywhere. Hip Hop Streets, Third Coast TV, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, iTunes, Apple Podcasts. We are everywhere. Find a platform that works for you. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you comment. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. And if you like what you hear or you like what you see, become a part of the Outside the Box community by coming on over to our YouTube page, by hitting that subscribe button, clicking that bell notification so you can be notified when we drop new content. We have over 128 episodes available, so you can play catch up. And if you miss a week, hey, go back and see a show that you haven't seen before, because I'm sure it's going to be somebody in there that you know. And if you yourself want to become a podcast creator, make sure you go to www.onneystudios.com and you can become a podcast content creator today. We have multiple sets for you to choose from. So come on over and make that vision a reality today. I want to thank you again, Nick.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you again.
Yeah, for the high vibrations. Literally.
Right. And then one last thing too. If you've ever had a bad experience from edibles, it's because they don't love you and they didn't give you the proper instructions. If you've ever had a bad experience from it, again, you took too much. That's pretty much all it is. And if you're scared from it then, just know that the next time you circle around to it, just
Scale
don't
it
do
back.
as much. Yeah, just scale it back. And when you talk about the edibles, that's when they kick in. Remember that.
All right, well, there you have it. Black Print Edibles is in the building, spreading some knowledge and some high vibes. Well, that is our show for the evening. I'm your host, Onney the CEO. I hope to see you on the next segment. You're now plugged in, tuned in, tapped in to Outside the Box.